For 3 long years, Bones sat quietly in his small shelter kennel, forgotten as other dogs found their homes. Yet deep inside, he held on to a fragile hope that one day, someone would finally accept him and give him a warm, loving home to call his own. One of the longtime volunteers at the Williamson County Regional Animal Shelter in Central Texas had walked past his kennel countless times. Each time, Bones lifted his head and wagged his tail as if asking, "Is it my turn yet?" She could see it in his eyes. He hadn't given up on people, even after all that time. One Friday afternoon, she decided it was time to do more. She would start taking him home on weekends.
Let's do that.
When she first brought him home, Bones didn't quite know what to do. The smell of grass, the sound of neighbors chatting, the freedom of a backyard, it all seemed new to him. On their walks, he stayed close, pressing his head gently against her leg. Back home, he rested his head in her lap and closed his eyes, completely still. He didn't need toys or treats. He just wanted to feel loved. Bones quickly settled into her home. He explored every inch of the yard, rolled in the grass, and wagged his tail like a puppy. He got along beautifully with her own dog, as if he'd been part of the family all along. To her, he was a big teddy bear, gentle, patient, and endlessly grateful. But that first night, something broke her heart. When she opened the door to let Bones out after dark, he froze. The yard was quiet and shadowed, and he didn't move. Then she realized he hadn't been outside in the dark for years. The shelter always closed before nightfall. He simply didn't remember what evening looked like. Slowly, with her encouragement, he took a few hesitant steps forward, trusting her completely. That moment told her everything she needed to know about him, how much he had lost, and how much he was still willing to give. Bones hadn't always lived behind shelter walls. Years ago, he'd been picked up by animal control after nipping a neighbor. At the time, he and his sister lived in a home without a fence, often running loose in the neighborhood. With no guidance or security, Bones was constantly in survival mode, frightened, unsure, and misunderstood. One brief, fearful moment changed the course of his life. At the shelter, though, Bones never hurt anyone. The staff saw a dog who needed structure, patience, and love. The shelter director, who had known him for years, stopped at his kennel every day. Bones always greeted her with his signature tap dance, pawing the ground in joy. Over time, he became a favorite among the staff, one of those dogs everyone quietly hoped would find a home. On weekends, the volunteer continued bringing him home. When she arrived at the shelter, Bones recognized her instantly. His whole body wiggled with joy. He knew her car in the parking lot and pulled eagerly toward it, ready to jump in. Together, they took long walks, visited nearby parks, and wandered the trails. For those short weekends, he wasn't a shelter dog. He was just a dog, happy, free, and loved. Every Sunday afternoon, when it was time to bring him back, her heart ached. Bones always looked back at her, confused and sad, as if asking why he couldn't stay. It was the hardest part of every weekend, but she reminded herself that these short visits were healing him, giving him strength and hope for the day he would finally be chosen. She believed that when that day came, Bones would give his new family everything: his heart, his loyalty, his endless gratitude. Because he knew what it felt like to be forgotten and what it meant to be found again. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to help more dogs like Bones find their second chance. Remember, when you open your home to a rescue dog, you're not just saving them, you're giving them a reason to believe in love again. Be patient, be kind, and you'll both heal together.